Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do another pickups video, very similar to my last one because I really enjoyed the format of my last one, and I got some more Dreamcast games, so I want to do that again and just give you guys a little preview of what I got. First up is this one. This is Gi Charat Fantasy, obviously for the Dreamcast, and this is a series that's kind of near and dear to my heart. One of my friends and I were introduced to this series just really randomly when we picked up Gi Charat Nyo, and as far as I know, that's kind of an alternate take on the Gi Charat franchise a bit, but it was just really funny and it really resonated with us, and just really enjoyed watching that series. So very excited to try out this game. Let's take a look. So here we are at the start screen. Let's go ahead and fire this up. Alright, and so this whole series is developed by Broccoli, and it's kind of like Dejiko is tied into like the mascot of their chain of stores called Gamers, and there's a Gamers in Akihabara, and I guess there's 20 of them or so in Japan. So we play the game as this character who actually just walked into Gamers, where Rabian Rose and Dejiko and Puchiko are working as employees. And so, of course, things escalate, and Dejiko uses her signature Meikata beam, or from the eyes beam, and somehow this tears a dimensional rift that sucks everyone through. Of course, you fart as you pass through the portal here, which... it's just signature Gi Charat humor. But here's where things take a turn for completely different. You can see here we've landed in this world. Dejiko looks different. She's very sort of pretty princess-like, and she has lost her memory. So she doesn't remember who she is. She didn't know who you were to begin with, so I guess that's kind of how it sort of sets up the relationship that you two have, where she's kind of dependent on you. But you proceed to make choices as to where to go and what to do, and until I figured out that you could actually choose from two different screens there, you pretty much go around and you do this really mundane, just kind of tedious trying to find what the right place to go is. So a little disappointed with this so far. I think you took some of what makes Dejiko really interesting and sort of sucked it right out. Next up we have Plum. This is a puzzle game, so let's take a look. So this is apparently developed by Takuyo, which a Google search will reveal is listed as a civil construction company that apparently also makes games. So a diversification is important. And it looks like they started developing games in 1999, and this may actually be their first game ever. And I won't lie, it actually would not be surprising. This does feel a bit like, it's a little bit amateurish, from the character drawings to the the voice acting to the gameplay. It all feels a bit amateurish. This does sort of seem like their first rodeo. But obviously they were successful because they went on to make a whole bunch of other games. In fact, they made some, it seems like they started quite early making some otome games, which are kind of romance games aimed at girls as their audience. So, anywho, we start the game by going over to our friend's house looking for our friend, and he's not there, so we find him outside, and we run into this old guy here, and he's apparently doing research. You can tell he's a researcher from his white lab coat there, and he's researching these balls. So of course everyone has one, and they all take out their balls and show each other. I know that sounds bad, but let's get our minds out of the gutter here. So apparently he needs to determine the power of these balls. So we're going to have a competition to see who is better with the balls. So we can see here that this is a typical puzzle game in the style of Tetris and that sort of thing. Very similar to any of these games, Columns or something like that. If you get 3 of these colors together, it's going to make them disappear. In this game, it actually changes the colors of balls around them. And as you can see, if you're doing poorly, It sort of pushes your platform down further, despite the fact that I have less balls than is on the other side. But, pun intended, this game is balls hard. And you can see I lost here, and I actually tried it again, thinking that I was going to do better, and I lost again. So, very challenging. Next is Sora o Mau Tsubasa, Blue Sky Blues. So this game falls into a category of games that I'm realizing I'm going to have a hard time approaching. And I would call it the sort of the sad variety of sort of romance adventure style game, where you know, you've got really sad music, and along with that, you tend to have a lot of speaking. There's a sort of a real visual novel feeling to it, and just lots and lots of text. So you're reading this really more than anything, and that's fine. But the reading level in this sort of game, I would say, tends to be a little higher. The language tends to be a bit more flowery, and it's just a little harder for me to follow. So I think some of my barrier to appreciating games like this is going to be just getting a bit better at Japanese. So, you know, that's my own failing. And these games, you know, this game may be quite good. I actually like how you have these sort of sketch style for these flashbacks, and it seems like a lot of this is happening in flashback right now. We're kind of in a taxi ride, and then we flash back to dinner when you find out like you're moving, it sounds like. So this could be a really interesting game. I think my Japanese is going to have to be a bit better for me to really appreciate it. Moving right along, it's a Vermillion Desert. So this game starts right off with us being found lying face down in the middle of the desert, and it's been established that we're in kind of a alternate reality, military controlled sort of future setting. He's like, oh, this guy's name is Roy Sheed. It's like, or Shidu. And he's like, oh wow, this guy's like that guy that, I don't know, disappeared a year ago, did something a year ago, but he was known as the god of death. So obviously you were some sort of star on the battlefield. So you get recruited into their little military unit here, and this proceeds in a mission based style. So we can see here that there's we have information about some sort of route that these people are going to be coming on, and we're going to get set up in 3 different locations here. And he's like, you know, Roy, you're in my you know, my first group with him. So we have all these characters here, and there's sort of this human drama element to this whole thing. You know, everybody in the team kind of arguing about picking up the new guy and this and that. You have all these sort of interpersonal issues that are going on. And then the gameplay here is, it's not really action-based, it's kind of tactical strategy-based. So it's almost like a real-time strategy without the resource management. So yeah, you know, at first I was wondering, I'm like, man, this game looks really awesome. Why did this come out here? And I'm like, I think this is why. Because all you guys are battling automatically. You can see here I'm going to go in and choose to, like, raise, you know, my health. So, you know, my team's going to heal themselves. And we just sort of go along on our predetermined course here. Now, once we get to our locations, we get some more of this this sort of human drama, team relationship issues here going on. People are arguing with each other. She's like, it's like, I'm not like, you know, a princess or a lady or anything, so stop calling me that. Let's just do our jobs. And but anyway, finally this convoy or whatever it is comes along, and we can choose to attack or wait. So I actually choose to wait. He's like, all right, you know, we're waiting. So I realized that I probably waited a little too long to attack. So you actually have to go into the menu, choose attack, and then we start our ambush here. So you know, this seems like a pretty cool game. It seems kind of interesting. One thing that I was never really able to figure out is how to switch between my teams, because I really felt like I wanted not just to be focusing on Alpha Team, but be able to switch to Beta Team and Gamma Team and like manage them a little bit too. So I felt a little bit hamstrung in my ability to actually meaningfully, you know, alter the outcome of the battle. But I'm hoping that some of that was just my inexperience. You can see in between these missions we continue to have cutscenes, and there's some interesting looking stuff in this. You can, looks like you can develop new weapons. You have money that you can use to, you know, upgrade weapons and get different things. You can train your people, and you can see all the stats on the different people. They have strengths in various areas, and I'm sure you can hone them the way that you would like. So this seems like a really interesting game with quite a bit of promise. Next we have one in the Simple 2000 series, which is a budget series of games that obviously appeared on the Dreamcast and other systems like the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. These are published by D3, and this also involves Hunex, and this is called Natsu Edo Celebration. So this game seems my speed. This is a bit more accessible. I think the reading level is a lot more where I'd like to be, and it's just the style and the atmosphere is pretty welcoming to jump right into. So you see you can make phone calls here with a sort of old style cell phone, and you have your regular 3 choice segments here, and you actually work at a fast food restaurant, which is where you are right now. So it has, you know, just a little bit of a Welcome to Gi Charat feeling to it there. So you know, this seems like a pretty cool game. You know, it establishes you as kind of a normal guy, and I'm actually pretty interested in playing some more of this. Next is Nijyuei by Princess Soft. So holy crap, this is not really what I was expecting. This is definitely a horror, really gory visual novel. You can see here this blood splatter. I'm not going to show anything more graphic, you know, sort of violence-wise than this, but there's some really gory stuff even right in the beginning of this game. So definitely a visual novel, lots of text to read through, and this is not really what I was expecting. It seems to have this sort of samurai kind of medieval feeling to it. Seems like maybe they're fighting demons or something like that. You have this, you know, this grotesque face kind of coming out of this guy's chest, and just some really weird stuff. But you know, cool visual style. Like you have, it's this sort of dark samurai thing, and then whoa, you know, what's this? It's like this sort of bishoujo aesthetic. So I mean, like I said previously, it's Princess Soft, so I was kind of expecting this, but I really wasn't expecting this kind of, you know, samurai, sort of gritty, violent visual novel. Finally, we have Yukyu Gensokyoku 3, Perpetual Blue. And I have no idea what that means. I didn't look that up, but let's take a look at the game. So you can see here it appears we're part of some sort of very hierarchical police organization. And you know, there are some things that that put me off about this game just a little bit. The character designs are a little weird. The 3D characters aren't, you know, super great, but I like that they're, you know, in 3D, and you can sort of do some 3D motion. You can move around through this 3D environment of this office slash house that you have here, and a very odd simulation element. You actually conduct meetings. So you actually sort of choose the flow of the meeting. You can, you know, determine if you're going to go on to the next thing or talk more about a certain topic. So very strange. But then you can move around throughout the house, and here we can sit down at any of these points with these arrows and actually perform an activity. And our HP and MP actually decrease while we do this, so I have to assume that because it's using some of our resources, we actually get something out of that, like maybe it raises stats or does something like that. And then we have these sort of story-based, almost like missions here that we go on, and then they lead to 3D RPG battles. So pretty cool. I mean, again, this sort of looks like somebody built it with RPG Maker or something, but you know, somehow in this it kind of works, and really interesting way to input these commands. So what I did here is you basically, like, you hold the left trigger and then you like hit right on the control pad. You're holding both of these buttons down, and then you hit like Y to trigger that. So that's more of a feel thing. It doesn't really come through in the video, but an interesting way to kind of navigate through the menu there. So yeah, some things about this game that are a little off, but I was pleasantly surprised with it. So definitely going to check this out some more.